This is T.Y. Jackson.
United States Women's Champion Chelsea Green.
How you doing, people?
And I love pro wrestling.
I love pro wrestling.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome to the Brunch Gimmick. I am Lawrence Kurtze. We are live. Another big week in wrestling, as yesterday was AEW Wrestle Dream.
Hi, I'm Maxine Dupree.
And I'm Otis.
Hi, I'm the sweetest pea, Christara.
Mars, the specialist.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And we
love wrestling.
Bottoms up, brains on. Welcome to Quizplex here on Love Wrestling, your pro wrestling trivia charity show. My name is Zach Ralph. I will be your host.
This is God's gift to wrestling, Michael Richard Blaze.
We are the Usos.
This is Rachel Ellering.
And we love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know what that means.
Well, you better know by now. It's episode 235 of this thing.
I guarantee you there's like an 85% chance that's not an accurate number.
Hi, this is Shaz McKenzie.
This is Big Bad Boris.
This is the Rhinestone Cowboy, Stephen Crow.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
If you're here, thanks for being here. It's For Exposure, Love Wrestling's Independent Weekend podcast, where we break down all the best happenings on the world of the independent wrestling side.
I'm Penta. I'm wrestling. And what?
I'm the alternative Anthony Green.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling. I love wrestling. And you know what? Penta Cero.
That's called scatting, kids. It is 8 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It is time for a excitingly fun, I hope, episode of Saturday Night Love. My name is Big Bad Boris.
I'm Big Ben Ortmans.
Hi, this is Smiley Kylie Ray.
I'm Sky.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Of course.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Can we start off with the biggest news of the week? The Rats lost!
If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
Good boss.
Hey! The man with the finest beard on this screen. Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
And listen between two beers.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know
that it's cold.
That means.
Fuck outside.
How dare you interrupt me? And then you say a curse word?
We're allowed to. We have, like Scott said, we got 9 minutes of ads. We definitely passed the. It's cold.
Well, he needs to subscribe then if he's complaining about the ads.
It's so cold. Tell him what it means, baby.
I was telling them.
Okay, my bad. You know how this goes.
Time for another edition of Between Two Beards, and it is a big week here. It's Royal Rumble week here.
My favorite.
We got a big guest. We got somebody we've been looking forward to getting on here for quite a while, and he will be popping on in just a few minutes. Jimmy from the Q of the Stache Club Wrestling is joining us this evening. Local Boston boy like myself.
momentarily. But
You're
we've done this
outnumbered
for-
tonight, Pluggo. You Midwesterner, you're outnumbered tonight.
I was I think I could throw you a couple because I was gonna say we've done this for about 247 official Between Two Beards episodes.
Yes.
I've interrupted you about 238 of those, and then I've also last week I didn't tell you that I was bringing on a Denver Broncos fan to talk trash. I had Tanner Lee talking trash, so I'm owed a little 2-on-1 Boston Midwest.
Well, it's not 2-on-1 when it comes to that.
That's true. I'm
discuss.
excited about it.
But how'd that work out for those Broncos fans, by the way? How'd that work out all right? That go well for them? How'd that go?
Listen, you won 10-7.
I don't give
bro.
a shit. We could have won 10-9. I don't care.
I know.
I don't care at all.
I know. A win is the win. Like
Well,
any good racer knows, winning by
What
an
I
inch or
will-
winning by
listen,
miles.
You won't. Yeah, Vin Diesel said it best. Winning's winning, baby. Listen. You only can play what's in front of you. The Patriots didn't injure Bo Nix.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I would have liked to see them win more than 10-7. But we got to shout out. Scott's in the house. Dustin's in the house. Maria's here. Fernando's in here. Everybody's chilling. I like that Scott said Pluggo looks weird with no glasses in the intro. Correct. Yeah, I hadn't had glasses the whole time. Remember that whole debacle, where I hadn't gone to an eye doctor in 20 years?
Didn't the eye doctor laugh at you?
And then the doctor laughed at me. I was so blind. So now I'm a glasses guy, and I haven't looked back since. Call Sports Quarters in the house. But let's not waste any more time, JPJ.
I'll put them on you.
It doesn't happen often where we get just an absolute stud, an absolute legend in the game. You saw the picture. He rocks the stash. We rock the beards. Today we got full frontal facial coverage.
Wow.
Jimmy from the Q. He's from Boston. He's in the house. What's up, brother?
How are you guys doing today? It's an absolute honor to be on the show. What a time to be on the show too. Royal Rumble season.
Yep. Royal Rumble season. I kind of knew. I was like, you know what? I would like to see if he's available. Royal Rumble week. I would like to talk Rumble and all sorts of wrestling. But Rumble with him. We got the chance to meet you and John, both you guys, you and John at Bound for Glory. We snapped a little picture, the picture that sent waves to the wrestling media industry, the facial hair kings of the wrestling content creation game. The Stashes and the Beards got together on what was a fun show, but a very, I know it's been a while. It was a fun show. It was a good time. I know you guys had a suite at some point through the night. You guys had quite a night that night. It was frustrating at times with TNA that night, but overall a great experience. Bound for Glory, packed house. It was a good time, Jimmy.
Many of the folks were there to see the Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, the final table. But us ball knowers were very excited for a potential match of the year candidate, Javon Evans, Leon Slater. It got there, but then the wet fart finish, the Temu Shield had to get over at a TNA show for whatever reason. But it's heat, brother. But to me, it was the wrong type of heat, and you ruined a potential match.
They don't even Temu Shield it up on their own show anymore.
No,
I don't know
they're
what's
still the tag champs, though, right? Yeah, they're still the tag champs.
but they don't cause chaos and destruction like they used to.
They beat OTM, right? OTM on Tuesday to retain. Wasn't that the thing?
There was some
shenanigans.
But listen, before we get deep into this wrestling, I'm gonna tee it up because I know he's ready. We talked about it off stage. Because I, as a non-Bostonian, is that the proper term?
Bostonian, yes.
Just assume that all Boston-based people are diehard Boston everything sports. You are not a Patriots fan, which makes me laugh because JPJ is a Patriots fan, and so now I have you, Lisa. Said, how does that happen, Jimmy?
Not only am I not a Patriots fan, I would say I'm the living, breathing reason for their dynasty. And I say that because I was born in 1996. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan in the heart of Massachusetts. And you might ask why. And that's because, weirdly enough, my biological father, he left when I was 2. He was a Cowboys fan. So I have a lot of baby pictures and Cowboy stuff. But you would think I could grow out of it. But no. My stepdad, also a Cowboys fan. So I guess my mom had a type.
I was going to say, was the Cowboys fan your mom's type?
Evidently so. And it's something that I have to live with because since '96, I believe it's 5 playoff wins compared to my hometown Patriots, who are I think it's their 12th time and
yes, most ever.
It's pathetic run of riches, 6 championships. Just it's an embarrassment of riches, and just the ways they have tortured me in almost in ways that I can't. It's almost like there is a football god, and he specifically picks on me. You know, even just a small detail of going through middle school and high school and having your starting quarterback the name rhyme with a gay slur, and it was a tough go, but I stuck it on the chin, and then you got Dez caught it. Dez didn't catch it.
He did catch that, by the way. He did catch that. That was a catch.
Oh yeah,
thank you.
They still haven't figured out what a catch is in the NFL.
No, they haven't. They haven't at all. Yeah, and these playoffs are a perfect example. Because, this is just not.
Because I thought for sure, like, early in following, and I was like, another guy from Boston, this is like a perfect. And I started seeing the anti-Patriots tweets, and I was like, wait a second, this is unique because I'm from South Bend, Indiana, where Notre Dame's from, so I know that there's a big contingent of anti-Notre Dame people in my hometown. I thought we were, but then I was like, JPJ is like, it's Boston. Everybody's Boston here. We're all united through and through. Is there like a large anti-Boston contingency, or is it just you leading the charge?
I don't think. Listen, obviously, there's going to be people everywhere that don't necessarily, root for the teams. But I would say, I feel like most major cities, but I feel like Boston is. The majority of people here are Boston through and through. For the most part, I would think that's just kind of in the blood when you're kind of raised with it. And Jimmy is a Boston sports fan of all the other teams. Like he's a Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox guy. It just, so that's still in there. He still has that in there, the Boston roots. It's just the Patriots he had outside influence, it feels like.
And it's a torturous because football is my favorite sport, like largely number one easily, and it's that specifically, and it's the little success that the most hyped team every year, the Dallas Cowboys, we haven't sniffed a conference championship, and it's just absolutely torturous. And here's the thing too, with this year's Patriots, and you went through a small spell of like 4 years of not being a good team, but now you have Drake May and Mike Vrabel, very likable. I don't really it's hard to hate them a bit. I will say, it was very reminiscing last week against the Broncos. It was very what's that? The game against the Raiders, the Stidham pass. Very reminiscing of the he didn't throw it, and the conference championship game against the Raiders. I'm blanking on it, but it's boils down to the Patriots being, in my opinion, the luckiest team of all time. It's crazy. Even you go to the thing about Deflategate, right? All that was a 4-week vacation for Tom Brady and more motivation for him to kick ass, and just so many more things that it's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, and listen. I think most when you're on your way to a championship in all sports, at some point through the season, you do need a little bit of luck. It is just kind of what it is. The Patriots, yes, they did have an easy schedule, but again, they didn't pick the schedule. The schedule is made by other people. They were a terrible team for the last, specifically 2 years. They were a god-awful team. And they had a last-place schedule because they were a last-place dog-shit team. And then we got Drake May, who clearly elevated himself this year to MVP, one of the best quarterbacks in the league status. And we got the head coach that he might not be the best head coach in the league. I think McVay in Los Angeles is probably the best guy, I would think, if I had to pick. But Vrabel was the perfect fit for what the Patriots needed. He's a culture guy, former player, a very young team that he can relate to still. It was just like kind of everything has gone Patriots. And yeah, guess what, guys? Nico Collins got a concussion and he missed the Texans game. Patriots still beat him if he plays. Sorry, hate to tell you. Bo Nix, was the game closer? Maybe. I thought the Patriots were winning either way. Nothing about Bo Nix scares me. Is he better than Jared Stidham? Of course he is. Of course he is. Would the game have been tougher? Yes, but I also think if Bo Nix was playing, Mike Vrabel and the Patriots would have probably game planned that a little bit differently than they did with Stidham. So you can go either way you want about it. That game was boring as shit. The second half was miserable with the weather. Luckily, the Patriots had a 10-7. I did too.
Adds to it, man.
I agree.
Now, the idiots out there that never played a down of football are trying to put everything into a dome. It's disgusting.
No, it's disgusting. You earn the right. Look and Denver earned the rights to have that in their field. And those at last year, Philly, when they were playing the NFC Championship against the Rams, they had a blizzard in the second half. And if they didn't, the Rams would have won that game. But guess what? Philly was the number 1 seed. They earned the right to have to go through Philly, and the elements are part of it. I agree. All these now they're saying they want the conference championships at a neutral site. Go fuck yourself. No, you want to have the Super Bowl. You want to have the Super Bowl in a nice. Fine, I'm cool with that. It's a Super Bowl. It's always been that way my whole life. Fine. None of this. No. Like the Buffalo Bills are going to build a new stadium and it's going to have a retractable roof. No, one of your advantages of being in Buffalo is that people have to come play outside in Buffalo. That is an advantage for you. You are taking that advantage away. What is wrong? Like, I don't understand the concept. I don't understand that. If the Patriots were to build a new stadium, which they wouldn't, and they were having a dome, I would be pissed.
He's getting fired up. I've been staring at Jimmy this whole time. Is that NFL 2K5 VIP crib background?
Absolutely.
Okay, I didn't catch it at first, and I was like, I know that room. I still have that game floating around this house somewhere for rainy days. Best game ever.
Football video game of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was only $20. It was wonderful.
And it was the last time that there was really any competition to EA Sports and Madden and kind of, I still buy those games every year because I love football, but EA Sports has phoned in those games for a decade. It's rough.
I never personally upgraded. I still rock an Xbox 360. I fell off right when the new gen came, and for me, as someone that only plays video games for sports video games, I felt like I lucked out completely because all of the games around that era, I would say from like 2005 to 2015, all rock. But then right after that, I'm not a big Ultimate Team guy. I'm not a big play online guy, and that's kind of all they care about is microtransactions and whatever.
I gotta say, I'm not a big play online guy either, but I kind of have fell into this obsession with 2K by player, and I'm always Dynasty guy, where I just like to play my Dynasties. But I was like, I'm going to give it a whirl this year, and it is the Wild West out there. I mean, everybody's cheating, but I'm just trying to have fun and grind. And I got 12-year-olds yelling at me about how I suck ass, and I'm like, wait a minute. I do, but I think I'm okay in the rec. I'm like that old guy that just does the runs up and down. I'll get the boards and kick it out to you, dude. Don't worry. I see you in the corner. You ain't gotta yell at me, man. But yeah, no, those were the days to just sit. I could sit and play a dynasty of Madden 07 for hours and not even blink.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
I agree.
Bring back good old sports. Bring back the old sports games. I wish there was a way that somebody could bring those back on these new gens, where I could just get Madden so I don't have to whip out the old PlayStation 2, which is fine, but I'd like to just be able to have it all in one.
I used to be such a nerd. I would create 32 new teams in Madden 07 and then upload them to a franchise, make them all cupcake rosters, and then try to make new guys in the league. And honestly, a lot of them would be the quarterback would be The Rock Dwayne. I definitely try to get a bunch of wrestlers that end up. You're trying to think of names and stuff, and I'm obviously massive mark. So
yeah, and then you're
John Cena.
Can Dwayne The Rock Johnson hold his QB1 spot or some young upstart?
Yeah. to answer Fernando, we talked about that just to get the last football topic, and then we'll kind of move on to.
Yeah, I know you guys are here for the wrestling. Get your Royal. Listen, before he does that, before you say that to Fernando, whatever you're gonna say, get your Royal Rumble picks in, get your likes in, hit that subscribe button, share this out to your friends, leave a super chat if you feel so inclined to help us keep the lights on.
Yeah,
and we'll guarantee that question, comment, Royal Rumble prediction gets read on the air.
Yeah, and I was asked by Fernando, one of our best viewers, listeners. He said, "How do you feel about the Belichick situation?" We talked about it briefly, the three of us on air before we popped on. Here's my thing. All right, when it comes down to it, no,
here we go. I'm ready, guys.
Look, as a Patriots fan, I never really picked a side when it came to Tom and Bill until the end. And when the end came, I'm a Brady guy. I'm a Brady guy. However, I love them both. I don't think they get to 6 without either or. That's how I feel in general. However, I know Belichick was a jerk. I know that he was a dickhead to the media. He was a dickhead to people in his own organization, players, personnel, the owner. I
love how you say was.
Is. Well, I mean, listen, what's going on with him now is just a different level of things. But I understand this. But even with that being said, there is no way that guy should not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There is no way. I don't care if you hate his guts. That is an embarrassment, in my opinion, for the league and for the Hall of Fame, that he is not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
JP, you got to understand, though, would Brady win more championships with a Hall of Fame coach?
It's true. Maybe. Would he have 8 instead of 7? I don't know. I don't know. And then I saw a lot of people online.
Spygate.
Spygate. Yeah, that's what they say. Spygate and Deflategate, which were both bullshit. Didn't matter. Everybody in the league was doing stuff like that. They just hated the Patriots because we were winning. There's plenty of reputable people in the league, former players.
Listen, that team down south in Indianapolis for me doesn't seem to think that they were doing anything wrong.
Bill Polian is the main reason why Bill didn't get in, because he's a whine crybaby bitch at the age of 83 years old. Bill Polian, kiss my. You know who was a first?
Live from the land of chowder and pain, JPJ's losing his freaking brain. Boston anger, turn up the heat. He's got opinions with no defeat.
You know who is a first ballot Hall of Famer? Bill Polian. And you know who isn't? Bill Belichick. How the hell does that make sense? How does that make sense? Please. A joke. It's a joke.
It's funny is I don't even disagree.
Also not a Hall of Famer, Julian Edelman, and I'll stand on that forever, too.
Well, listen, I don't disagree with you there. I don't
what did
disagree
he ever
with you
do?
there. Yeah, look at clutch as hell in the postseason. If it was just postseason, he would be. But I don't think he did enough full-length career-wise to get in there. But if there was like a postseason Hall of Fame, he is one of the most clutch dudes to ever do it on the receiver end of things.
Not too many Pats fans would say that, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, listen, I'm a homer, but I'm a realist homer. I'm not a schmuck. Like, I'm pretty fair for the most. I'm passionate and I'm a homer. Don't get me wrong, I am a homer. But I will also come on here and yell for 10 minutes of how much I hate John Henry.
Hey, Jimmy.
You know, so like
ask him about the Red Sox offseason.
No, I just mentioned John. We're not going to do that yet. We're not going to do that.
Ask him about the Red Sox
offseason. He won't do anything.
He's going to be on my side with this because he's a Red Sox.
I know.
We're going to be together in a line.
I kind of like this. To answer your question, EP show, I did not make that. I wish I could take credit for that genius. That was Dustin, who's in our chat. Shout out to Dustin.
He did a great job.
He did that. He did some stuff for my other show. He's talented.
He's very great. On my weekly my weekly schedule that I put out on Twitter every week, Dustin does that for.
I can make pictures of Jimmy drinking ice foam cold lattes. That's what I can do.
Yeah.
My skill set.
But that's my opinion on Belichick. Even the biggest Belichick hater out there, you're insane if you think that guy's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
But anyway, this week
also it kind of gives the Patriots some more fuel.
I agree. I agree. You know,
at least Robert Kraft, the current Patriots, they don't like Bill because he don't let them on campus or something. He's like
he doesn't even talk. He doesn't. Yeah, absurd.
I think that's his. I think that's his. I think that's his girlfriend. It has nothing to do with her age. I just think like when when you're in a relationship and then you stop talking to a certain group of people, it's usually because the significant other doesn't like them. Like, do we have to go to their house? Like, I don't like your friends, and then you're like,
I don't know.
Sorry, boys.
Even though he's an old man, Belichick is one petty bitch. He is one petty bitch.
True.
That is just who he is in nature.
And we're on the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, well, before that,
that's what he would say. Like, we're on the Royal.
we're on the Royal Rumble. Yeah. I was gonna say, it must suck to be a Jets fan, huh?
I actually, since I don't have a team, I have to imagine like Jets fans are just absolutely numb, and it doesn't suck anymore. It's become so bad that it's like enjoyable again. Where you're just like, how inept can we be as a franchise? Like, this is kind of comical every week. Like, we can't get one interception in 17 games. Like, how does that happen?
You have to watch a Super Bowl with your arch nemesis team, the New England Patriots, making it back to it against the guy that you drafted as your quarterback because you don't know how to run a franchise. He stunk, and now he's kind of revitalized himself to make it. It's tremendous. It's a tremendous time.
Very few teams have it worse than me, and the Jets are one of them. So
yes, 100%.
I almost kind of want to be a Jets fan because then then that way, if I signed up now and then they decided to get good, I got in early.
They're never going to get good.
I don't have a pro football team.
That star would look really good on you, Pluggo.
Oh wow, he's trying to recruit you to the Cowboys.
Listen, I don't know. Let's see. Keep saying I was a Bengals fan for a long time, and then they made a bunch of dumb, stupid. They tried to kill Antonio Brown that one game, and I was like, I just can't keep rooting. And then they drafted Joe Mixon, and I'm like, I just can't keep rooting for this franchise. So I put a bunch of names in the hat and pulled out the Browns, and everybody voted because I put it on socials. They voted for the Browns, and they went 0-16. And I was like, well, and then we had some good years with Baker, and then they signed Deshaun Watson, and I'm like, I can't do this. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch football, and then one day I'll dip my toe back into a team. I think next season might be the season I go, this is the team, this is who I'm riding with. So we'll see how that goes. We'll figure out a way to.
You have morals, then the Cowboys aren't a team for you, unfortunately.
Hey, listen, I could let a lot of things go, but like I'm just like Deshaun. I can't root for Deshaun Watson. Like that's just gross.
Yeah.
I can't be like, woo, let's go. Even though now I don't know, but we'll see.
You can't anyway because he's not good enough.
I was gonna say, well, now they have Pro Bowler Shador Sanders.
Baby, I don't want to bandwagon jump.
7 touchdowns and 5 picks. Pro Bowler Shador Sanders, unbelievable. And I like Shador, but what the hell are we doing? Anyway, all right. That's enough of the
Ope three-way, welcome into the chat, my friends. Donnie ain't real. Let's do this. Where do you want to start in the world of professional wrestling?
Well, I actually want to start with Jimmy because he's obviously a big wrestling fan from around my neck of the woods. I want to know, when did you said you were born in 96. I had already been watching wrestling for a few years at that point. Not to age myself, but a few years. When did you first, what's the first wrestling memory where you fell in love with it? Like, when did you first, little Jimmy from the Q, when did he fall in love with pro wrestling?
I think 3 or 4 years old, I got my hands on a WrestleMania 15 VHS, and I must have watched it 30 million times in a row, going to sleep every night. And then I got my hands on a Best of Raw 99, to where I saw Sable, first pair of boobs ever, because she did the whole finger paint thing.
And yeah.
And then seeing the aura. Yes.
Burned into wrestling fans' memory.
Some of us, for sure.
And seeing the aura of Kane and the Undertaker, and that moment of them sharing, coming together for that one moment, even though it was a ruse, because I think the next week was the Royal Rumble, and Kane lit the casket on fire. And that whole WrestleMania storyline between the Kane and the Undertaker, which you look back on it now, not the best matches ever, but storyline wise and general feel, just larger than life. And then of course I think 5 years old. I watched WrestleMania 17 with my uncles and his friends, and that to me was just like, it's a wrap, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in then. There's no getting out.
Still to this day, one of the top, in my opinion, I think that's maybe the best WrestleMania of all time, if not top 2, 3, 4. Like, it's right up there in the discussion. WrestleMania 17, X7, whatever you want to call it.
And for those in the chat, he said VHS. That's an old thing where you had to take it and put it into it was called a VCR.
Yeah, sometimes you had to blow on it.
Yeah.
You had to get it in there a little bit. You hit rewind button was an actual button you had to hold down to rewind. It was quite a time. It was quite a time back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So that's right around Attitude, mid to late Attitude Era, into the Ruthless Aggression Era,
So
that kind of.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go. You go.
I was going to say, I like to follow his question up. This is about the only thing that we do together. So you grew up, and that's your first. When did you go, I'm going to make this a career choice? Like, I'm going to get into this content space and go, I love this shit. I'm going to start putting it out to the world how much I love it.
So I would say around maybe 2018, my best friend Shlomo came out with an online radio station that then turned into a media company, that turned into production company. He's someone that, purposely puts a lot of hats on themselves with his creative juices. But luckily I was able to get my foot in the door with podcasting with Mass Music Radio. And I started, and of course, various interests of starting a podcast, having a radio show for a little bit. Given it wasn't a big radio listening audience, but it was something, and it kind of gave me my first introduction to how to kind of produce a podcast, all the editing stuff like that. And eventually, after trying a sports podcast and then doing a wrestling podcast with my best friend Jack for a few years. Getting my foot in the door a little bit. I've always been a big personality and someone that, my own opinion, but I'm pretty good at social media. I like to think I'm pretty funny, which is, a cringe thing to say, but so I've always had that, following.
Well, you're pretty funny, my guy. Pretty funny. There you go. Got you. Keep you humble.
And then for a bit, I was helping with Mass Music Radio and his other company, Malls Talk Media, producing a few shows and a morning show podcast that we ran 125 episodes, and I got to run that show and write and produce it, and it was around the time of the pandemic, so we had 8 friends that all had free time, so we had a rotating cast, in studio stuff, and it was just a blast. And then for about 2 years, I kind of was a bit slacking on the content front, until I got the opportunity from Stache Club Wrestling and John. The fallout between Dante and John happened at Stache Club, and then I got an opportunity just from, I met John at a Monday Night Raw, if you believe it. I followed John's music career before I knew anything about his wrestling stuff.
Nice.
And from Mass Music Radio, and then just so happened, I'm like, oh wait, we're at the same Monday Night Raw. Let's link up, and we somehow. Met up with a few other friends, and then we meet John. And right away, I'm noticing people are noticing him. People are buying his beers. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Come to find out, this guy's on a poppin' ass, wrestling YouTube show. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So we had a heck of a night together watching a really good Monday Night Raw. I think it was on the road to WrestleMania 39. And it was just meeting him, and we had a great experience from that moment. But then it took only 2 years for that relationship to form and be like, hey, I have a spot open for the show, and I thought of you. So I took the ball and I ran with it, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I love it. And that was going to actually be my next question, is how that whole thing happened. So, yeah, it was just kind of, good happenstance, really. You run into him at Raw, and then so you guys maintained good content, and then he just had the opening, obviously, when Dante and him, they kind of stepped away from each other, and then he just brought it to you. It wasn't anything you pitched to him, or was it just
it was a pure out of nowhere text. I remember waking up in the morning, and with my girlfriend at the time, I was like, he messaged something about possibly being interested in joining Stache Club, and I was like, wow, I gotta start losing some weight, man. I'm gonna be on camera with these people. But the more so too, I was just like, damn, that's a crazy opportunity that I have to just take. And it really was too, just because we stayed in touch like here and there with like Instagram stories, whatever. I think what really did me in and possibly got me the gig was, I want to say like a month before he texted me about it, was I suggested the show Severance to him. I was a big Severance kick. To me, is one of my favorite shows of all time. And I was like, anyone that would listen to me that I know, I'm just like, yo, please watch the show and let me know what you think so we can gab about it. And then he liked the show a lot, so we kind of talked about the show. And then then what happened. And then I think I did like leave a comment on his initial video about it, saying like, hey man, like you're because to me John is really great at what he does. He's very entertaining, and I was like an actual fan of him before joining the show. I can't say I watched Stache Club too much outside of that first night, going back from after Monday Night Raw. Me and my best friend like, oh, we got to see what these guys are all about. They don't know this. They don't know this question. They don't know this question. So like, I remember that one time I was watching, being such a hater, and now looking back at that now and reading the comments of me, getting something, very insignificant wrong or whatever, what have you.
Yeah.
And being on the other side of it's so funny, but it was a crazy happenstance.
Yeah. Does he ever give you grief for going more than just a stash? Because I can see you got a little bit. You're trying to beard it up a little bit more. Does he go like, hey man? Because I know he's full stash.
He's full stash, and let me tell you, man. Again, I joined the show, so I can't have too much say on the creative output. Let's just say if it was my program, we probably move away from the facial hair, because it's so funny when I was talking to the company that runs Stache Club, Clutch Points. One of the first things they asked me was about the facial hair. I'm like, here's the thing. I have a mustache. It's not a sexy, extravagant mustache. And here's the thing. I need the neck beard. If I don't have the neck beard, you're looking at 3 to 4 chins that.
That's what I said.
I feel like we're all.
That's where I started with what you got going on, because I was like, you don't want to see this. I never thought of that, JPJ. We've never thought about moving away from the facial hair. This like, it's just we literally. We were trying to come up with show name ideas, and I think between us we just went
two ferns, between two beards, like it was kind of
it was just kind of, and then we're like the guest will be on literally between us, and then it just kind of went from there. I think. Okay.
No, you guys are stuck with it, and I think we're stuck with it too. I don't think we're gonna.
I just think it is what it is. Yeah, it's just what we are.
We gimmick it up, and we have the
you do the little gimmick. Yeah.
I tell people I got to keep it because of the show.
And I don't know if you can tell, but our logo down there that's right below you, that's actually our beards in the name work. Like, so Pluggo's beard, that's Pluggo's beard in between, and that's mine and beards. Like, that's our.
We're gonna definitely have to change the logo soon, because I'm starting to really gray out a little bit as I get close to 40 here.
Every once in a while, I'll try to shave, because I get frustrated because I'm not great at like keeping it up and making it look good. So I'll shave everything every once in a while, and it's a terrible, that's my hair grows fast, thank God. So it's a terrible 5 days. But the thing about it is, we went to AW Dynamite, I think, a few months ago, and I didn't know we were sitting front row.
Yeah, you had some good seats.
I shaved everything, and then the next.
You guys were on TV.
We're on freaking TV, and I have 8 double chins, and it's freaking some bad angles on that night, because you got fans taking pictures of me everywhere too. So it was a tough go, but all in all, I'm used to being a big guy and all, but if I had known we were gonna be on TV, would have kept the beard.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I get it.
Hey man, you look good. Don't sell yourself short. You look good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you had some nice.
I did that Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, it's Jimmy.
Yeah, that's what we did.
It's funny. Sam Darnold's in the Super Bowl. I'd say maybe like 8 or 9 years ago. A bit thinner or whatever. I got called a fat Sam Darnold on the bus one time.
Wow.
Some little kids like, you look like Sam Darnold, but like a little fat.
You're like, I am Sam Darnold, bro.
Yeah. Fucking kids, man. They say the darndest things. Isn't that the saying? They say the darndest things.
Yeah, I would never let that go. I'd keep that story forever. I would cherish that. I'd be like, you know what? I've never heard that. I probably never will. So,
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, boys.
Too, just like Sam Darnold.
Yeah. This Saturday afternoon show for us East Coasters, because it is in Saudi Arabia. We have the Royal Rumble. My favorite pay-per-view of the year. I love the Royal Rumble. It's the Rumble matches. I think then there are a lot of people's favorites, but they're my favorite. I always get jacked up for them. I do feel like this year, and I think Saturday night's main event being so close to the Rumble was part of the issue for me. I do feel like I haven't been usually as excited.
Just say it. The build has sucked. It's not been great.
I just feel like I haven't been normally, and I don't know
Michael,
if it's a Saudi thing.
Michael Cole announced that Roman Reigns is going to be in the Rumble. You're telling me Roman can't give me a 15-second video saying, "Hey, I'm on the beach right now, but I'll see you, Saudi. The tribal chief is." Give me something. Yeah. Michael Cole's like, in a throwaway. He's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Roman Reigns is entering the Rumble."
Yeah,
that's not what this is supposed to be.
Another thing, and again, I'll ask your opinion, Jimmy. Like, I'm not one of those people that gets upset or angry if they announce there's 30 people in it. There's 30 people in it. We know there's 30 people in it. We know that the majority of the 30 people are going to be people that are already we see all the time already. Like they're going to be, a lot of the mid-carders, some lower card will have we know realistically what the structure of the Rumble match is going to be. So I'm not one of those people that gets like really upset when they announce, like right now we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We have 14 guys announced. I'm sorry. No, yes, we have 17 people in each Rumble announced, which leaves 13 open spots that we don't know who they are. Now there still is a SmackDown. I'm sure we'll get a couple more, maybe in each Rumble, maybe a handful, whatever. But I feel like we're going to go into the Rumble maybe knowing 21, 22. How do you feel about that? Are you someone that's like, tell me 3 people and let me figure it out? Or are you somewhere in the middle? Like, how do you feel about the announcements? Now, there's some that I don't like the Obafemi announcement. Stupid. That guy should have just debuted in the Rumble, period. Like, you've seen the vignettes for 2 weeks now. You can assume he's going to debut in the Rumble. You don't have to fucking tell me that he's going to debut in the Rumble. Just let that naturally happen, please. But in general, I'm not one of those people that gets super bummed or upset if I know the majority of people. How do you feel, Jim?
I would say, yeah, I seen this discussion kind of go around for a while. And at first I was kind of like, what are people so upset about this for? But then I kind of got to like you said, the Roman Reigns thing where it's like, we kind of know Roman Reigns is going to be there already. Why not just have us be surprised at the Royal Rumble? I would say too, though, the Obafemi thing, his vignette, though, that vignette freaking rocks. It gets me juiced up. I don't mind that one too much. And I will say overall too, I do like it for certain wrestlers to get the opportunity to go out on Monday Night Raw and cut a promo saying, hey, I'm declaring for the Royal Rumble. I want to win it. And that itself can get me juiced up. And I think certain wrestlers doing it, especially the obvious ones that are going to be in it. But 30 spots nowadays in WWE, there's so many people on the roster. So there's going to be people left out. So I think, like you said 13 unannounced. So I think that's a decent amount of surpriseness. But like I said, like I am a sucker for, I'm declaring for the Rumble promo. It kind of gives a wrestler something to do on Monday Night Raw. I often think about Punk's. And I'll throw Hulk Hogan's dusty ass over the top.
Awesome.
A bit.
Yeah.
And Ope said it right there. Except Finn Balor, he's not in. So only 17. So I'd like to know the 13 people that.
Pierce said it was full.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So I'd like to know these 13 people that got in over Finn Balor. I'm excited for that.
Can we? All right. I know we're here to talk.
Because he murdered CM Punk.
Well, all right. Can I? Yeah. All right. Get the button ready.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
No. He's calling for it.
Okay. We have the Great World Title match 2 weeks ago between Balor and Punk. And I know it was in Ireland, but they give Finn his old music back. He's a baby face. And I'm sitting there going like, yes, like many of us, like, yep, that's where Finn that's where Finn Balor belongs. He's, and then they're teasing that he's potentially going to be. Like earlier in the night on Raw on socials, I tweeted like, "Oh, they're turning Finn babyface. Like, I think they're turning Finn babyface here. I think." And then we get to the show. They give us the impromptu AJ Styles CM Punk match that we're all hoping for because we'll talk about AJ at length here in a minute. They give us that. It's for the world title. We know AJ's not going to win, obviously. And then put Finn Balor out there to do what why? I don't know. I feel like Finn Balor should have make him a baby. It was just another draw with
you glossed over a major point. He had a choice. Do you listen to curmudgeon old CM Punk, or do you listen to Liv Morgan? He went with Liv Morgan, and listen, I can't say I don't blame him. And I don't. I'm just saying. She was like, "Look, Judgment Day," so he kicked CM Punk. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like.
Well, thank you, Jaxie Baby's in the house saying this is the best crossover they've ever seen.
Hell yeah!
From the Q, the beards.
There you go.
Yeah,
there we go. I don't know.
Listen, he had a choice. Liv said, "You're with us or you're with Punk," and he chose Liv. And listen, I'm sure he has his. I'm sure Dom's not going to take too kindly to that, but
I just feel, I guess I'm more upset that they gave us another DQ finish in a match that I feel like we didn't,
Well, we had a banger last week. All right, now you're being too selfish. You're being way too.
Yeah. You can't get 2 in a row. What is this?
Is that what it is? I'm like, God forbid I get 2.
What's that line? What's
world
that line?
Matches in a row.
What's that line from Major League where it's like, we had a banger last week. If we have a banger this week, that's 2 in a row. If we do it for a third week, that's
a winning streak.
A winning streak.
It's a winning streak. Before. Oh man, I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is awesome. We got AJ and Punk. They're having a great match, and then it's just like, oh come on. You're not gonna let us get a finish, and then Balor goes uber heel, and I'm like, I kind of wanted him to go babyface, but I don't know. And now he's not going to be in the Rumble.
He's in that spot though.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm glad he's in that main event. That's where he belongs. And he hasn't been in that level in a long time. And I think he's still as good as ever. And I do feel like he deserves, Cletus in the chat saying he deserves a push. I think we're in the midst of it right now. And I think he does.
He still could. And listen, if you're CM Punk, though, you got to respect the move. I know you hate it, but he went to Pierce and he said, okay, I lost to Punk. I want a spot in the Rumble. There wasn't a spot in the Rumble. How else are you going to make a name for yourself? Now, go kick CM Punk's ass. Now, I don't think we're not going to get that match at the Royal Rumble, but poor Akira Tozawa, man. He's going to get the he's going to get the
tree. What do you mean poor Akira Tozawa? They're the number one
contender. Listen, but he's going to be, he's going to be in the Rumble. He's going to come out, and then Finn Balor's going to kick his ass and take a spot. That's the Akira.
I was kind of looking forward to a little bit of a babyface Finn run for a moment.
Yeah,
but they did the thing that they did a few months ago. I want to say with Logan Paul, where they had like the opening segment where Logan Paul helped CM Punk, and then later in the night turn heel. So it's kind of the same thing in that aspect, where they kind of tease the babyface Finn, and then out comes Finn to ruin a AJ Styles CM Punk match, which is almost as bad as. Deep Stay or Dark Stay, whatever I want to call them, ruining Leon Slater, Javon Evans. But we won't go there.
No, I don't know if anything will ever be that bad. We were in the building, so I think it might have been. That match. Listen, that match was. We were on our feet, and then you were a couple rows in front of us. All of us were on our feet that whole match, and then it was just like, oh, all right, well, great.
TNA will TNA sometimes.
Yes, they will. Yes, they certainly will. All right, so we have right now on Saturday, we have 4 matches. And, we just mentioned him a bit because he was in the main event of Raw fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk. This Saturday could be the last ever WWE match for AJ Styles. He is going one-on-one with the man who seems to end all careers lately.
It's over, Jimmy.
Gunther, looking to retire his 3rd person in the last 5 or 6 months with AJ. When they first made this match, I was like, oh, I thought, they said 2026 was the last year for AJ. I didn't think it would be January of 2026. But I was like, oh, maybe AJ wins or there's like a swerve. But then they give us the Nakamura match. at Saturday night's main event. They run that back one time, their best match easily in WWE that they've had. That was an excellent match. And then they give us the Punk AJ match that we've never seen in WWE on Monday. And they showed on the internet, they showed kind of what happened afterwards with him and Punk. He said, I loved you. They hugged, they embraced in the ring. It was a nice moment. And that makes me believe that this is actually it for AJ on Saturday, Jimmy. Like, I think this is it, which is crazy.
And it would mark 10 years sort of to the date when he debuted in the 2016 Rumble, and it's an even 10 years. And, a lot's being made of him. You guys see the report of him doing the trademark thing. I don't think that means he's going to be jumping to any other company right away too soon. I don't think that directly means that. He might just want to sell some T-shirts in post-retirement.
Yeah, keep it in house. Shout out to Jax Wilder. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, in the chat.
Yeah. You should have had MRB on Friday, my guy. Just saying. I'll put it out there. I don't care. I'll fight MRB. I ain't scared. Anyway.
I don't know. If
when he trademark things, I think that's like you said. Like if he wants to do conventions and wrestle cons and things of that nature, he can have his own stuff. He had all that stuff before, like his own name and everything. The Phenomenal One. But again, do you think it's over? Do we really? Because I think it is. Everybody thinks I'm nuts. I think he saw Cena have a year-long run. It's a perfect Royal Rumble 2016 to Royal Rumble 26. It's kind of a good bookend. They literally could throw him into the Hall of Fame if they wanted to, because they don't have anybody announced yet. Mm-hmm. Give him a Hall of Fame ceremony, and he just wraps it up. It feels very AJ Styles.
But he did look at that TNA World Championship kind of funny. You would think maybe there could be a scenario where he retires and gets retired in WWE, and then only maybe does a few matches in TNA. Calls it he did.
Yeah, and part of this, right? His contract. I'm not a contract connoisseur, but isn't it also up? So he's probably just not going to sign one. But if he goes to TNA, Slammiversary is a perfect time to wrap that up. If you wanted to have one last match, AJ Styles, because he did say 2026. He didn't say for which company.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be down with that.
And I think that's where you're seeing a lot. We're wrestling fans. Our brains are wired a certain way where we create things in our brains constantly. And I think that's because he did say 2026, but he didn't say, again, like his contract could be up at the end of January for all we know in WWE. He's not going to stay. And maybe he does go to TNA, or maybe, he does show up in AEW for a small run, or someone who goes back to New Japan for a little run. Like there are clearly options, right?
Or is this all just a master class work where they're playing with their emotions and Punk's kind of sentimental post-match hug all plays into that. Even that match with Shinsuke Nakamura at Saturday Night's Main Event was phenomenal. I have to, no pun intended, but I have to go back and watch that again.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. It was just tremendous. And some people in the chat are saying that they kind of think like the end of 2025, like that second half of 2025 was kind of like, even though everybody was focused on Cena, like AJ was kind of having his little mini, he had the match with Cena, he had the tag title run where he was having bangers with Dragon Lee, and then
him and Dom
had a good little thing. You know what I mean? He had the match with Punk last week. They ran the Shinsuke. Like, could this have been his little couple months where they're like, here you go, buddy. Like, you're wrestling all year.
I hope he comes out on Monday Night Raw in a salmon jacket and Mark Henry's this shit. Like, I don't want him to go.
He's done that before.
Yes.
It doesn't again. Like, I don't want the guy to go. And obviously, Saturday night's main event proved he still has a lot left in the tank. I think I just look at it too. Like, I've listened to some past interviews and things he said where he wants to be there when his kids do sports and all this. And we're getting into the spring summer sports time, to be the dad and all that kind of stuff. So maybe he is looking at it like, I don't want a big send off. I don't want a big year long Cena tour. I hope that he sticks around and keeps wrestling because I think WWE is much better with AJ Styles in it. I don't think anybody else is going to disagree with me there. But I hope I'm getting worked. I hope he beats Gunther on Saturday and we're like, "Oh, right, we still got some more time." But if he calls it a career, man, I'll be sad.
And I think it's a very AJ Styles way of calling it a career, where it kind of happens, without him giving too much notice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because when he said 2026, he did say he didn't know when, right? So are we going to believe that he's going to go all the way to December with this thing? And it's like, we just saw that, right? He's probably thinking that too. He's like, we just saw somebody do that. I want to just do this. I don't know, man. I love it. I love it that, we're sitting here debating it. So at least there's some intrigue to it. But because I also on the flip side, real quick though, before we talk about Tommaso, because that was awesome.
Yes,
Gunther just retired John Cena. It would be crazy in his first conquest of like, I want your career, that he just took he takes a loss. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, and
so are you really this career killer, or were you all talk?
And obviously we're going to talk about the Rumble matches at length here after we get through the other non-Rumble matches, but Gunther is also in the men's Rumble. So he's having this match with AJ, and then he is a participant, and you would think he's probably one of the favorites or near the top of the list of favorites in the men's Rumble. And, when Gunther's the guy that ends John Cena's career, a lot of people weren't huge on, a lot of people loved it. I was one of the people that loved it and thought it was a great way to go out. Some people didn't, whatever. But the talk of like, well, what happens now with Gunther was a big talking point after that. And a lot of people were like, well, he needs to basically be shot to the moon. He just retired John Cena and made him tap out for the first time in 20 years and all this stuff. So it's like, it would be odd if AJ beat him. But to me, it still would be kind of odd if he almost didn't win the Rumble either, and kind of like that. You know what I mean? So he's got a busy night ahead of us. Like, Jimmy, do you think he's going to retire AJ? Do you think like Saturday is officially it? Or do you think AJ, they kind of trick us a little bit and AJ can pull it out?
My final prediction on that is Gunther will definitely win. He has to. He's the career killer. It's gonna be a downer, but one thing that brings us up could be a Royal Rumble match. But could you really recover from a potential Gunther assassinating AJ Styles' WWE career right in front of us? I don't know. But even to your point too, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Gunther to win the Royal Rumble. I mean, this guy did retire John Cena. There is many people that are questioning why Gunther isn't in the world title picture right away after that. And I would agree to an extent, but I think right now Gunther has such a big time heel aura with him right now, where he almost kind of reminds me right now, not directly the character of the Undertaker, but like in the space of like Gunther right now doesn't necessarily need a world title because his matches feel a great big deal without a world title. So if you can keep having Gunther retire a bunch of past their prime legends, keep that going as longer as you can. You hear the rumors of other people coming into the company and other guys that are retiring soon. Gunther can do that. So and then have that lead up to a world title. Him getting the world title back, sure, but also you can get away with having other people be in the world title picture and still have a compelling Gunther retirement angle. So I've been enjoying and loving all of Gunther's stuff lately, and it's been a wild ride.
Hear me out. He retires AJ. He decimates AJ Styles, taps him out. He grabs the mic. He says, "Enjoy your Hall of Fame speech," kicks him out of the ring and just says, "Let's get this Rumble started." And he's your first entrant right away. They won't do it because they have to play the video package of by the numbers, but he just goes, "Cut the shit. Let's just start this Rumble. You guys are all bummed anyway. I'm just going to mow down a few more of your favorite superstars."
And then he should be there in like the final four.
Yeah,
I feel like you should make it all the way.
He just mows down like the first 5 or 6, and then he's just all the way to the end, and people are still like, "What the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Was AJ Styles really done? What are we doing here?"
Yeah. I would love
or he could just, or if he wanted to be a real piece of shit, he could do what I just said, say, "Hey, AJ, you get to be number 2 in the Rumble," and then just dumps his lifeless body out over the top rope and really hammers it home. Listen, I'm all in on Gunther just being an absolute, just awful human being. Like, I'm cool with
I love it.
So,
I love it.
That's my prediction. I don't think it's going to happen because I don't have 10.
But
we all do AJ like that.
Yeah, but we all are thinking, the three of us are thinking that Saturday will be the end for AJ Styles, at least in WWE.
Poured one out for the phenomenal.
Yeah, look at AJ has had that match with Cena in 2015, 2016, which one of those?
No, that match with Cena in 2025.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes. But that match at the Rumble, that match at the Rumble, I believe in the 2016 Rumble that he had with Cena was just man almighty. Very,
the ring.
Yep. All right, then we have a singles match for the undisputed WWE Championship. We saw at Saturday night's main event, Sami Zayn won a fatal 4-way against Randy Orton, Trick Williams, and who was the other guy?
Damian Priest.
That's right. Sami Zayn was the victor. I thought for a lot of 2025 that Sami Zayn was going to be the guy I was picking to win this Royal Rumble on Saturday. I thought that for a good chunk of the year. I think the Seth Rollins injury had something to do with that, to be honest, because I remember the night after Mania last year where Seth was trying to get Sami to go to SmackDown because he was buddies with Sami and he was looking to protect him, and they guaranteed him a world title shot. And Sami was in the ring standing across from Rollins, and he said, no, I think it was the night after the Vision formed and Seth won the month after the Rumble, when Seth won the world title.
Yeah, they offered Sami to leave, and he said no, like an idiot.
Right in Seth's eyes, and
then
said,
went anyway.
I will be, and then he and he went anyway.
But he got nothing.
No, but I remember him pointing at Seth and saying, I will be a world champion someday. And in my brain, I thought, Sami's going to win the Royal Rumble and beat Seth for that title at WrestleMania next year. That's what I thought was happening in that moment. Seth obviously, unfortunately, gets hurt, so he's not around, so plans change. And Sami wins the 4-way. He's got a world title match, a long overdue world title match for Sami against Drew. And I'm a little torn here. Like, Drew just won the thing, so I'm picking Drew still. I'll lead off. I'm going to pick Drew because I still think Sami's going to end up fighting Drew at Mania for the title and actually winning the title at Mania. I think that's what's happening over there. That's where I'm leaning over there. I don't know if that means he wins the Chamber. I don't know. But if it was me, I would have, obviously Sami's going to fight his ass off. It's going to be a great match. He'll come close to winning, but I think Drew beats him, and Sami's just that close again. But I somehow feel like there's going to be a way that we get the rematch at Mania with Sami, and he's going to do it, and he's going to win the title.
There's a Royal Rumble match later on.
Oh yeah. So and Sami isn't advertised right now, but maybe
That's why we brought you in, Jimmy. We would have forgotten about that Royal Rumble match.
Well, because I'm. Here's the thing, right? Sometimes
never talked about it.
No, but like sometimes if they're in prior matches, they're not in the Rumble. But sometimes they are. Like Gunther's in the Rumble and he's in a match. So I would love Sami to enter and still win the thing, to be honest with you. I do.
Can he do that? That's my intrigue. Is he going to lose to Drew and then win this Rumble?
I would hate that, but the crowd would love it.
That's what I have Sami in my final 4.
Okay.
I think he fights his ass off in this match with Drew. I do think he comes up short, and then he gets that like hope spot where it's like he's gonna do it, and then maybe I don't know, but we got Scott saying that Sami's beating Drew. Is that even on the table here?
I mean, it's possible. It has to be. Yeah, right, Jimmy. Yeah.
I'm someone that kind of went semi-viral for a take saying that personally, I think that Sami Zayn should never win the world title. It's kind of his whole shtick these days. He's the ultimate underdog. I know he kind of said he's not an underdog anymore, which I do like. It's, his character is changing, and I'm not opposed to it. I think it would be a great moment, and he's a wrestler. And the reason why I say he shouldn't win a world title is because I think he is in the discussion, and I think it's kind of an accolade almost to be in the discussion for greatest of all time to never win the big one. You have Mr. Perfect, you have Scott Hall, you have Ted DiBiase, and for me to say I consider Sami Zayn a peer amongst those guys, I think it's a massive compliment. I even go further and think in my opinion, I guess I'm kind of a new schooler guy compared, because those guys are a bit out of my zone. But I watch tape. But Sami Zayn to me is a complete wrestler, and he definitely could be in that conversation for greatest of all time, never to win the title. And then of course, if he wins the title, I don't know how strong of a reign he'll get, but I will say, if you're gonna do it, because they should have did it, if they were gonna do it at the Elimination Chamber against Roman Reigns years ago, But what other place could be than this moment against Drew in Saudi Arabia at the Royal Rumble? Drew, there was some kind of murmurings when he beat Cody that he would be a transitional champion. That might come to fruition, and Sami Zayn might get his big underdog moment. But I'm picking Drew. I am.
And who's better at like losing a championship or each than Drew McIntyre, right? Like who can figure out a way to get out of that and make something of it if it did happen, as much as he just got it. And I like how you said you watch tape. I assume that VIP crib back there's got just a library, just chock to the gills of just tape. Just in there, I love that. I got Drew as well. I don't think it happens. I love Sami Zayn. We work here at a company. I've said this on many shows since this whole thing began. Canadian-based, proud Sami Zayn, ball knowers up here. We're all rooting for the guy always, but yeah, Drew's got something going right now. The Chamber's still coming up. You could throw Sami in a Chamber. You could still get to Drew and Sami at Mania. You know how the WWE loves to like wait for Mania to get these spots, to have it happen at Mania. It means more.
Listen,
I said Sami's going to be over as hell.
Oh yeah, in Saudi, he's over as hell anywhere, but in Saudi, it's a personal connection with him in Saudi. It just makes sense. That's why I had him kind of as the guy that I thought was going to win the Rumble for a long time. I would
really dislike if he did double duty though. There is certain times that
especially if he loses. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Has that ever been done, by the way? Has anybody ever lost the world title match earlier in the night and then won the Rumble? Has that happened before?
Oh,
I don't know. Brock in 2022 lost the title to Lashley and then won the Rumble later in the night, which was one of the worst Rumbles of all time.
Oh, brutal. Just say brutal Rumble. Awful.
What do you guys think of that take, though? If you guys had to kind of think of it right now, who is the greatest wrestler to never win the big one?
In WWE, for me, it's probably Roddy Piper.
Yes.
I was going to say that's a great.
In WWE, but he was a world champion elsewhere. You said Mr. I have an action figure of Mr. Perfect back there. He's in my top 5 of all time. Mr. Perfect. Again, I'm 40. I'm a smidge older.
Razor Ramon comes to mind.
Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Razor Ramon was my favorite as a kid. He debuted in like 92, 93, and that was really when 7, 8-year-old me was really first starting to fall in love with. I loved
the real answer is Heath Slater.
I mean, that's a PLUGGO guy. That's a PLUGGO
my guy.
That's a PLUGGO.
That's one of my guys.
I'm surprised I didn't say Marco Stunt.
Marco was never in WWE, so I don't want to cross genres. But if it was a surprise entrant in the Rumble, Marco Stunt's getting picked. That's my dude.
True. But if I had to pick one, I would say probably Piper.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think it's a shame that Scott Hall never won the WCW title, considering how many bums held that title. But
yeah, especially in that early era, like you said, some choices. I'm surprised he never quite got there, but
that's
part of that. And like you kind of alluded to, that's kind of part of the mystique here, and that's kind of what you're going with your Sami take is like not ever winning it isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. Where it's like in football, when you're like a quarterback to never win a Super Bowl, it's like looked down upon. But it's like, why didn't Mr. Perfect win it or Razor Ramon? Because we know how good they were. I don't know. I don't like it for those guys.
This will not happen. But hear me out.
It might. You never know.
Sami loses to Drew. Whether it's in the Rumble or at the Chamber, Sami gets another shot at Drew at Mania. He beats Drew at Mania, finally wins the world title. His wife and kid are in the ring. Kevin Owens is in the ring, and Kevin Owens is healthy and beats the shit out of him in front of his wife and kid.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I would want to happen. That's me. That would be if you had. Listen, I want the kid crying. I want the kid crying in the corner. I want the kid crying.
Does WrestleMania night one? Does WrestleMania 39 night one mean nothing to you?
Yeah. Look at that. Was a great.
Listen, I will say this. If that means that we have a healthy Kevin Owens who's back in full-time competing in WWE, I guess I could take Sami Zayn's kids.
We've had Sami and KO so many different times. Imagine having it over a world title feud for a few months, please.
If
on the SmackDown world title.
I love that. I do.
Oh.
But if Sammy's, if I don't know if Kevin Owens is ready to come back yet. If he is, I would love that. But if Sami Zayn wins the WWE Championship against Drew, I would want Sami to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
You know, one of the long-standing disagreements, and I will say this, one of the long-standing disagreements that Pluggo and I had on this show is Pluggo was adamant.
Still adamant.
Yeah, well, now it looks a lot better for your argument, and I will agree. Because they didn't have Cody win the first time for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah, that's right.
But Pluggo was adamant that Sami Zayn should have beat Roman Reigns in Montreal for the world title. And my argument was, no, he shouldn't, because Cody is going to beat him at WrestleMania. But then Cody didn't, and they made us wait a whole other. And even though the WrestleMania 40 main event was fun and it was a blast, great, Cody should have beat Roman the first time. He should have beat him the first time. The second they made that decision, I think Pluggo became right. And when you look back on it now, and you mentioned it earlier, Jimmy, when you look back on it now, Sammy should have beat Roman if we were going to wait.
My biggest point back then, too, was like, we do this thing every year where it's like, well, we can't do this because what about Cody or what about The Rock? Or just live in that moment. Because also, if you looked, I was also of the ilk of like, you could have Roman, you could have Sammy beat him, and then Roman just gets it back, and and then they could have did what they did. So I can't. JPJ was like, I'm right. Oh, I feel good.
Listen, the only reason
we got Jimmy from the Q on, JPJ saying I'm right. Woo! I'm about to retire.
I don't know. I
episode
just feel,
250. Who needs it?
Not happening.
This is my moment.
This is Pluggo's swan song right there.
This is my Cody Rhodes winning the world title.
Yeah, Pluggo's like, AJ, I'm one-upping you. I'm retiring tonight. No. But, I just, and I do think, look, they kind of did this when Sammy was in NXT. Sammy, it took forever for him to finally win the NXT World Championship. All these other people won it before him, and he was like Mr. NXT. And, so they've kind of ran the angle of Sammy never being able to win the World Championship in NXT when he was down there. So they're just kind of, it's obviously different now, but like they're kind of reestablishing that as kind of his main, battle at this moment is trying to win the World Heavyweight title. And then, so I do think at some point he is going to win the world title. I think it will. It's inevitable that it will happen. I just, I don't know. And I think the match is going to be great with him and Drew. I really do. But I just think he's going to come up short, and they're just going to keep on feeding that he can't win the big one type thing to us until he eventually does.
I mean, he definitely has to now, considering there is 2 world titles now too. Like you gotta crown his ass.
100%. Can I throw something else out to you?
No, tell him no.
If Sammy were to win the title, so let's just say let's just call it WrestleMania. Sammy wins the title at WrestleMania. Would we be against Cody turning on him? Is Sammy such a is he such a lovable babyface for the crowd, and he gets all that sympathy that would be one of the few guys that a Cody heel turn could work on? Because I think it would be.
Yeah, I suppose so, but I'm someone that, the only time I kind of turned myself on the idea of Cody Rhodes always staying a face was SummerSlam against John Cena before Cena, turned face on that SmackDown randomly. I thought maybe a double turn, a la Bret Hart and Steve Austin, that classic match, do it mid-match almost. But other than that, I think I really, truly love Cody Rhodes' dedication to always just being a babyface for as long as possible. It's kind of what did him in at AEW almost, because the fan base there wanted him to turn heel. But I think if you can keep it's so hard being a top cool babyface, right? Like Cody Rhodes to me for the last 3 years has been just a top guy, up there with the faces of Mount Rushmore when you get to the top baby faces of like Hogan, Stone Cold, and Cena, where he's done such a good job. And like this stuff in doing it in a baby face and maintaining a popularity is so difficult. It's like imagine someone says go into this party and make everyone hate you. Be pretty.
I could do that.
Go into that party, make everyone like you. Not gonna work. No chance. There's gonna be one person, two people, whatever. So like, I just love Cody Rhodes for that reason. So I can't turn him heel. But like you said, though, Sami Zayn is a sympathetic enough babyface where if Cody were to do something drastic, sure.
Yeah, I look at it.
That'll be a moment.
Yeah, I look because, and again, I don't think they would because Cody is the QB1 and he is kind of that standard bearer for WWE. But if you notice, Cody's starting to get you start to hear a little bit of boos nowadays with Cody, and I think there is a certain. I'm not one of them. I'm a Cody guy, but like there is a certain segment of the audience that you can kind of hear a little bit now, louder than ever. That they're like.
It's
all right. We're getting a little tired of the shtick here. All right, yeah, let's go.
It's hard. It's hard.
International fans, they're all drunk.
Yeah,
it's hard to maintain that spot at the top like that without. And he needs to start showing a little something different just so that we can go. Because that's what happened with like the Bloodline, right? It started to get a little stale. Then they interjected Sammy into it, and Cody's kind of stayed about the same since he's joined the WWE. It's like, all right, give me something a little different so that we don't turn on you, because I don't think they're going to go heel Cody, but they got to do something with him.
Well, I actually think him losing the title was a benefit to Cody. Because I think now you can do like they're doing him and Jacob Fatu, which I don't think I saw coming at all. And like, so like, I think
EDT to WWE, baby.
Yeah, I think him not being the champion and allowing him to have big stories but kind of do different shit will help Cody in the long run. I think him being the champion for so long was adding to that certain segment of people where they were like, all right, yeah, he beat Drew 4 times. Like, give me something different, please. Like,
you were one of them too. I was gonna say I'm glad that Drew won too, because I don't know if this show would be on the air because he was
almost done.
That week before he was like, they're just doing this match literally so Cody could get pinned and Drew still not win the championship. And he's like, I might not even watch after this.
And I know we're kind of going everywhere, but I will tell you guys, the last 2 Saturday night's main events, Cody should have lost.
Yeah,
Cody should have lost. Obafemi should have beat Cody, and if they had a real, and don't get me wrong, the brawl with Jacob Fatu and him, I fucking loved it. It was awesome. It was a great brawl. I enjoyed it. They should have had a legitimate match, and Jacob Fatu should have beat Cody.
Yeah,
I believe that.
He go on a bit of a losing streak where then when he, because my thing was like when he entered the Rumble, it's like had he lost those last 2 Saturday main events, lost to Drew, he's on a bit of a slide. And then when he wins it on Saturday, like I have predicted in my mind, it's an underdog story.
Listen,
he's an underdog because he's on a losing streak for the first time in his career.
And I just feel like WWE, he's the world champion. He's fighting the NXT world champion. No titles are on the line. If Cody Rhodes loses that match to Obafemi, that does absolutely nothing to Cody Rhodes. It does not hurt him at all. I'm sorry. When you look at somebody like Obafemi, I think when you visually see him, I don't think that would hurt Cody.
You're still losing to a rookie, though.
That's okay.
You think maybe Cody's in the back going, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Maybe. I don't know. But then think about it. So you have Obafemi, who's making his main roster debut on Saturday in the Rumble match. For anybody that doesn't know him that well, when he comes out on Saturday, it could have been, oh shit, that's the guy that beat Cody Rhodes.
Sure.
That's the guy that beat Cody.
He was damn impressive. And I think once we see Oba in the Rumble,
he's in my Final Four. I think he's going to be
Final Four. Of course, some history with Drew too.
What's the elimination record?
Oh God, 12 or 13, I think.
I think Oba's going to flirt with it.
Oh yeah,
that's my bold prediction. I think he's going to be double digits for sure. Maybe break it just to set a tone.
Yeah.
Maybe eliminate the big boy like Brock or Gunther.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, let's dive in. Let's talk about the ladies first, because I feel like I don't know. I look at the ladies field and I feel like I can narrow it down to who I think is going to win a little bit better than I can the men's field currently.
I'm the opposite.
You're the opposite. Well, you're pretty hell bent on Cody, which we'll get to. We'll get to.
On it, yeah.
All right. So
adrenaline in my soul. Every night want something, something Cody Rhodes. That's how it goes. Those are the lyrics, and you don't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, that is how it goes.
All right. Women's Royal Rumble.
So we have, these are in the announced names, 17. We have Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, Asuka, Chelsea Green, Jordan Grace, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Julia, Maxine Dupree, and the man, Becky Lynch. That is who we
did
have.
Kyrie not jump in that thing too when they were talking on Monday? She said she was going to do what she could to help Asuka win the Rumble.
Yeah, her name is not listed on here, so I don't know if I wouldn't be shocked if she's in the Rumble.
Yeah. I thought for sure she
officially-
is. Okay, she's just going to help out.
So those are the 17 we know. So 13 open spots. The betting favorite, if we are going by that at all, the betting favorite currently is Liv Morgan to win this Royal Rumble. She is the betting favorite. She's in my
JPJ's bookie. Are you a bookie now? Is that
no?
your...
But I've viewed.
I think you'd make a great bookie to sidetrack.
Why do you say? Why would I be? Why?
Because I don't think you would be like, "Where's my money?" You beat.
How many kneecaps have you broken?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Listen. I can't say that on air.
Listen, I'm giving you Liv Morgan 20 to 1 odds here.
Listen,
I need that money
look
by
at it.
Friday.
As long as you pay me my money, everything will be fun. Everything will be fun. Liv Morgan is one of so
the bridesmaid, never the bride when it comes to the Rumble. She's never won it. She's finished twice.
She's finished second twice.
She's finished twice, second times.
Yes,
been in all of them.
Been in all, yeah, she's been in all of them. Luckily, her injury, she was able to come back, so she will be. Yeah, so she's been in every single Royal Rumble. She's been the runner-up twice. I kind of look at where Stephanie Vaquer is going on the Raw side of things. They've had a couple stare downs in the back with Liv and her, so they've teased it a few times. There was a report kind of right after when Liv went. I mean, I don't know how much. I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer report, but they said that on Raw that Liv Morgan was going to kind of be a centerpiece of the women's division moving forward. I know they've been doing the tag stuff with her and Roxanne, but my opinion is if Bianca Belair is healthy and she returns in this Rumble, I would pick Bianca Belair. I think her versus Jade at WrestleMania writes itself. She wins. She challenges Jade. That is the main event at WrestleMania. If you ask me, I just think that is the match. However, if they don't go that route, hopefully Bianca returns either way because she's been out since she's been out a long time. Liv Morgan to me is the person who stands out because I don't think Rhea's going to win it. I don't think Io's going to win it. And I look at the rest of the field, and unless there's a big surprise or a big call up or something that kind of blows us all away, I feel like Liv Morgan is the name, Jimmy. I don't know where your head's at when it comes to the Women's Rumble or where you're feeling, but I feel like Liv is maybe the pick.
Liv is definitely the pick for who I'm rooting for, but at the end of the day, I do believe Bianca Belair will be returning, and if she's returning, she's going to win the damn Rumble.
Yeah. I fully agree.
And I think you hit the nail on the head, too, where it's like it's for sure going to be her versus Jade, which I'm not sure if you guys know. I am the resident #1 stan of Jade Cargill. You know, I will say it's getting frustrating, her not defending the title, but that's more so on the suits that make the decisions. It's not on Jade. But, you know, Jade and Bianca and Naomi had a really interesting storyline going for a while that was really juicy and really good. One thing I pitched on the Stache Club Wrestling podcast, shameless plug.
Plug it. You plug as many as you want. You plug as long as you can.
Was, you know, if we're doing Bianca versus Jade and getting some more of that lore, you know, run a storyline with maybe Jade playing mind games and leaving maybe, you know, Bianca wins the Rumble and on the following SmackDown, you know, Bianca's back and she goes to Jade's locker room to confront her and she finds a pair of Montez Ford sunglasses in there. And maybe we get some street profits involved with the Jade and Bianca feud a little bit, where, you know, Montez Ford is being maybe accused of certain things. And what I would end up doing is maybe finally doing a street profits breakup. Maybe have Angelo side with Jade and and maybe that's how Jade keeps the title. Because for me, I'd be very upset as the CEO of the Cargill cartel if Jade were to lose to Bianca at Mania. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. But
if it means we can get Brandon Phillips, former Cincinnati Reds great, in the mix, I'd be all for it too. Red Sox, right?
They're married. I was hoping that I could fulfill that spot, but she's
that's former.
Hey, you never know in this day.
That's former Red Sox great Brandon Phillips. In 2018, he hit a game-winning grand slam. The only thing he did for us that year, a game-winning grand slam in Atlanta.
I don't remember him being on the Red Sox. So
he literally played for us for like a month and a half at the end of the 2018 season because someone was hurt. I think Brock Holt got hurt, and they called him up, and he did good thing, and that was Brock Holt, legend,
fantasy baseball legend.
Hit the cycle in the playoffs against the Yanks. Hell yeah!
I have a completely different view of this Royal Rumble, and call me crazy. I have a vision of Roxanne Perez dumping Liv Morgan out of this Royal Rumble.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Okay,
and all that kind of stuff over there writes itself. And and they did the return off of injury with Charlotte last year, are they going to do that again with Bianca this year?
But Charlotte was we knew she was going to be in the Rumble. We haven't heard a peep about Bianca.
Right. But it's in the same vein.
Yeah.
I've been liking what I've been seeing between the interactions between Jade Cargill and Jordan Grace. I have Jordan Grace winning this thing.
Hell yeah.
I was just thinking that because
this is the year that they could take
SmackDown.
Yes, and this is the year that like the women's field to me is kind of open. Jade hasn't really done anything. They've been teasing it a little bit. If you really wanted to take a swing and say, hey, this is our next this is it right here. She's the next one in line. I could see him doing that and doing Jordan Grace versus Jade, just two muscled, badass women, just Mania. If Bianca, again, and that's if Bianca's not there, I still don't think you guys are wrong in saying that she's the front runner. She's in the thing. But I think the Liv, Raquel, Roxanne, Stephanie stuff can kind of write itself. Maybe they put all the Judgment Day girls in a chamber match because they're going to do a women's chamber for sure. Because you got to do one men's, one women. So that's where I'm at. I haven't heard. I don't know if I'm crazy. Everybody's told me I'm nuts, but that's just kind of where my mind has gone over the last couple of weeks. Because Jordan Grace did the Royal Rumble run when she was with TNA, and it was awesome. This could be the one where, like, hey, she would. I don't know. That's just me. I could be wrong. And Jack Swiler said if it's not Bianca, wouldn't hate Raquel winning either.
I wouldn't either. Raquel to me has
Big
my
Sexy.
most improved. Yeah, she's been the fact that she goes by Big Sexy now. I friggin' love. Raquel has been one of my favorites.
I'm disappointed that she goes by Big Sexy because I almost tried to trademark that for me.
Oh, you should have. You should have jumped on it.
I'll come up.
You should have jumped on it. I love Raquel. I love everything that she's been doing for the better part of the last 8 to 12 months. She's just been terrific. Yeah, I mean, like it's a strong field. So I guess before what are we hoping for surprises on the women's side of things, Jim? You have any one or two in your brain that you're hoping?
Snooki makes it back.
I'm smelling an Eve Torres comeback. I seen her at the John Cena last match.
Yeah,
I'm smelling her getting back in the ring.
I love Eve Torres. Oh,
and also another deep cut possibility. Sydney Sweeney.
Wow, what? Because she's doing the boxing movie, isn't she? Did she do a boxing movie?
She did the boxing movie. She's Euphoria season 3 is coming back or something. She's kind of in the news cycle again. I don't think she ever left it, but that's a deep pull. I got two. I think Caitlyn.
I was going to say that's one of mine. Caitlyn's one of mine.
And then Trish Stratus just did Stephanie McMahon's podcast, so I think that might just be a no-brainer. I don't think that's going to be a big surprise, but if Trish is in the Rumble, I wouldn't.
I think
Sydney Sweeney.
That'd be way out there. That'd be something.
Only if she has to dump some. Okay, so she enters the Rumble. She has to get one elimination. Who's Sydney Sweeney eliminating?
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. Yeah, that's.
If you have to have, good. If you have to have any type of spot in the women's Rumble where something kind of kooky or crazy has to go to, it's Chelsea Green is the choice. Sure. Right? She's the
Poor Chelsea. Fortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say my two are Caitlyn and I think Brie Bella. I think we're seeing Brie. I think it's happening.
Brie mode.
I think we're getting Brie mode. I think it's happening. All right, so official picks. Damn it! See,
you guys picked Bianca Belair.
Yeah, is that official for you and me, Jimmy? That we're leaning the Bianca.
I got Jordan.
Bianca Belair.
I'm gonna blow up both of your social media accounts with Jordan Grace wins.
I would not hate. Look I wouldn't hate Jordan Grace being in.
Like I told you, fools.
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah. All right. So then we fast.
I would
forward.
love it. I'm not calling you crazy. I think that's a very good. Like you build a star right then and there.
That's because I think that's again. I'm hell bent on my men's pick. I could be talked into a bunch of other avenues. I just think this would be the year to like do something different. Like remember, like when Asuka and Shinsuke won it in 2018. Like here's an opportunity on the women's side at least to do something a little off the beaten path. But we'll see.
Funny enough, I watched both of those 2018 Royal Rumbles before this show to get in the zone.
Hell yeah, dude, that was awesome. And they both lost at WrestleMania. Questionable decisions on both.
I wonder who's making that decision back then.
Yeah, not the people that were making it now. Not the people that were making it now.
You mean the guy that was like, English isn't your first language? Go cut me a promo in English, please.
Yeah.
We make movies here, pal, but not those type of movies, apparently. No good one.
Ridiculous. All right. We have the men's Royal Rumble match. Like the women, we know 17 out of the 30 individuals. We have Cody Rhodes, Gunther, last year's Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Penta, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, Javon Evans, Oba Femi, Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar. Those are the 17.
And Scott just said that Mr. Iguana just got reported by SRS that he's
there we go. So Mr. Iguana.
He's my pick.
Mr. Iguana?
Yeah. Dude, tell me that wouldn't be awesome.
I mean, well.
Just the iguana wins the Rumble, not Mr. Just the iguana wins.
Yeah.
I pulled up to the podcast the next week in full Mr. Iguana makeup. I would hate that. You can't have Mr. Iguana win.
No, you can't. No, you can't. All right, so that's the 17 guys we know that have been announced. You got your heavy hitters. You got your Cody. You got your Gunther, Jey Uso, Roman, Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, Oba. Obviously, Brock and Randy, you can't count out either. Now, Pluggo, I'm going to let you take the floor. You've been saying this for a few weeks now. Sure. That you are pretty certain. It feels like you're certain about this.
I just
that you have Cody Rhodes winning this Royal Rumble. So I'm going to let you do your piece, and then I'm going to ask a question to Jimmy in the chat because I feel like we should all be aligned that Cody definitely shouldn't win this Royal Rumble. And I am a Cody guy.
Well, you've been working with me for what you said 5 years earlier. I don't tend to. I do my own thing.
I know.
I live my own beat of my own drum. Or I can be talked out of it. Don't get me wrong. I can be talked out of it. But this Royal Rumbles in Saudi Arabia. They want it to go well because of all the flack for doing. They want this to go well because if you listen to all of those rumors and innuendos, as Conrad Thompson likes to say, certain Saudi prince is possibly wanting to purchase said that rumor never leaves, right? So they want this to go well. I just have this vision of white meat babyface Cody winning it 3 times. It hasn't happened since Stone Cold. Pyro's going off behind him, and we cut out the Rumble, and it ends with that being a success in their minds. Do I love it? No. Is there other options that I would love to see? Yes. But again, that's just how I see this thing ending.
So, like I said with the women, how Liv was the betting favorite. The betting favorite currently to win this is Roman Reigns. He is the betting favorite, which I feel the same way about Roman that I do about Cody.
You could do
we should all be kind of aligned that neither of them should nor need to win this Royal Rumble.
They should dump each other out and just have a match at WrestleMania. That's what they should do.
No title.
Maybe,
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No title match. They both just dump each other out, and then that's what sparks. Because that was the rumor a while back, was we were going to get Cody and Roman at WrestleMania again, but it doesn't need the title. But I just have this weird feeling that Cody Rhodes is winning the thing. If it's not Cody and it's not Roman, then who would you guys pick then?
Well, let's get Jimmy's official. That's a good question because listen, I love Otis. I'm gonna go. Listen, here's my thing. I'm gonna pick who I think is actually gonna win the Royal Rumble, but I do have an out of the box. Like again, I'll let Jimmy go first because I want to hear where his brain is when it comes to, because I feel like there are 4 to 5 legitimate people who can win this. I feel like so.
I'm with the books. I'm listening to the books. My actual prediction is Roman Reigns, but man, am I going to be rooting my face off? And I think they would be dumb if not to have Braun freaking Breaker win this Royal Rumble, man.
Yeah,
this is his crowning moment. He had the most viral moment last year, spearing that streamer, and that was phenomenal. That was the clip that you've seen the most of. And besides that, man, he's just next up in my opinion. I would definitely have Braun win the Rumble. And it's weird to me because they kind of cooled him off in recent weeks with this Adam Pearce GM storyline. I haven't loved the way they executed that totally. Like I like the suspension thing. I almost wish he never came back to Raw. I wish he was still suspended and we didn't know the whereabouts of the man. But at the end of the day, I think Roman Reigns wins this. I think he's the part-time guy. And to me right now, it's like I don't love Roman Reigns as a babyface right now. If we can try to get him to be a baddie again as soon as possible, for sure, good. And I think the crowd will kind of sort of adjust to that because I think they're going to be tired of the quintessential Roman Reigns returns to Raw to cut a promo this week because that's all he can freaking do these days. But yeah, I think he will set up a Mania title match with whomever. It could be for the world title, it could be the WWE Championship, but I'm going with Roman Reigns.
All right. What do you think? Do you think he would pick Punk? It would be Roman and Punk?
It's tough to forecast these days with how titles are moving because you got the Chamber next month, and I don't know, and that's in Chicago, so I don't know if Punk's defending it in the Chamber, is Punk defending it one-on-one for someone. So I wouldn't be opposed to a Roman Reigns CM Punk World Heavyweight Title match. I think that matchup was pretty. I wouldn't say totally refreshing because we got that triple threat match last year, but it would make sense. I definitely support the idea, like I said earlier in the show, if Sami Zayn were to beat Drew, or Sammy were to win the title at Elimination Chamber, I would like a Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn one-on-one match. And if that's Sami Zayn's first title defense as champion, that's a big boy. That's a big
that's
boy.
not bad.
That would be a good way. Yeah, that would be a good way to do it. And then you run that back, and especially if Roman were then to beat him, Roman is a heel. I feel like if he beats him. And it's kind of just like, oh, now you get there. Pal Josh Robinson in the chat. Hey, good to see you, friend.
I was just thinking about him
miss
today.
you, buddy. Yeah.
I was thinking about how much I missed him today.
Yeah.
I was thinking you'd have Sammy win that match at Mania, though, to get his win back on the Chamber.
I would not hate it. I would not hate it.
So that's the thing with this Chamber looming, right? They usually do one women's match, one men. May I just go crazy and say, why don't we put both men's and women's major titles in Chamber match? Just do 4. Just go crazy because I think if you maybe Punk and Balor could be a Elimination Chamber one-off match, and then you'd have to throw the Undisputed title with Drew in that mix in the Chamber, unless you want to do something crazy, do tag teams or the Intercontinental titles or something.
Or number one contender.
Yeah, you could do something like that as well. So there's some ways to go there, but yeah, I could be convinced of Roman winning this thing. Like, I could be convinced of Gunther winning it, Braun. Last year, we had the same problem where there was like a good 10 guys where you're like, yeah, that makes sense. And then they went with Jay and we're like, oh shit, there's 11. I didn't even think about that.
No one's saying Jacob Fatu, which I kind of find a little...
Right, and there you go. That's another great poll too. Like Jacob Fatu. There's so many guys in this match where you could just go...
He's like your Jordan Grace pick where I'm like, that actually would make sense and rule.
Mm-hmm. Can I throw can I throw a name out there as... it would be very ballsy and something that I feel like WWE, even though the shows have still been pretty solid and good, they've been very safe. The booking has been very safe and they haven't really done a ton of out of the box things. But what about a guy like Obafemi? What about a guy? He has the history with Drew. Drew interrupted his match with Cody. They had the stare down. What about the vignettes have been unbelievable for this guy. The second people see him, if they haven't seen him before, it's like the first time you see Jade. It's a different person. It's like, holy shit, this is like, what the hell is this? Like
has
the first
he
time
had
you saw
enough
Brock
adversity? Has he had enough adversity?
Yeah, and he's also like 26, so he has to wait 13 years. But like, you know, like would it be the craziest thing? And the answer is yes, the way they book stuff nowadays. But like, why the fuck not?
And that thing too, they've never had someone debut in the Rumble. Of course, I'm talking main roster. He's been in NXT for a while, but main roster, you know, they have any wrestler debut in the Rumble and then win the Rumble. Like that would be insane.
Set a precedent. It'd be huge.
Yeah. And that's obviously clearly immediate. His first main roster match is him winning the Royal Rumble. You're like, okay, well, this guy is a guy now forever.
And I love the idea of like older veteran CM Punk having to fight off all these young, like just Braun Breaker, Obafemi. Right now, Finn's a little off, and he's lightning in a bottle, like Jack says. With Finn right now, they got something cooking. He's a little older in the tooth of WWE standards, but I'm saying like, could you imagine like CM Punk having to try to keep that title, and then he's like, oh shit, I got Obafemi at WrestleMania, like. Whew, that would be cool.
Obafemi would use CM wife as floss.
Yes, yes, he would.
Right, exactly. Just just all day.
Yeah.
Like I'm down with that. I would love, but again, we would have to hope that the WWE is thinking future terms, because I know that they like to. It's WrestleMania. We got to put the marquees. But if they wanted to swing for the fences of any year, I think this is the year where you could make a big swing on either side of these Rumbles, really make a statement, because that's the problem we have with some of these upstarts. When they bring them up, they call them up, and then they lose right away, and we go, like I've always been adamant, like Braun Breaker, some of these guys, like hit right out of the gate, like try it again, do what you did with Finn Balor when he came and won the Universal title. That yes, he unfortunately got injured, but we haven't seen anything like that since then. Let's see it again. I'd be down.
And like, for a long time, the people who won the Royal Rumble were the next people. Like they weren't if Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns has been established as one of the greatest superstars of all time for a fucking decade and a half. He doesn't. That doesn't do anything for Roman Reigns. If Cody wins again, the first time Cody won, he needed to win. He needed to
win. Cody Rhodes wins
if
again.
he wins again, that does nothing. Like like the Money in the Bank and the Royal Rumble back in the day, like those were matches where it was clearly like, hey, this is the next person be a world champion. This is what's going to happen. Like, and I just feel like we've kind of got into and like you said, WrestleMania has become this, we need to have, and yes, it's WrestleMania. You do have your biggest matches at WrestleMania, but it has become, well, we need the big names on the marquee in all the main events. And it's like, well, sometimes the upstart needs to fight in the main event for the title too. Like, that is something that happens. And I feel like
Drake
an
May.
Obafemi or a Jordan Grace, your pick for the win, like that. Yes, Drake May. Like, what? Sometimes that shit happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens. You know what I mean? Like, and
sometimes you get a Drake May, Sam Darnold Super
Braun,
Bowl, and you're just like, what?
Yeah. Why not a Braun Breaker? Why not an Obafemi? Why not someone like a Javon Evans making a crazy run to the Final Four in this thing? Like,
no,
why
we'll stick
not?
with the Aaron Rodgers of wrestling as the world champion.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I've been clawing for WWE. It really is. They need some youth in their main event scene, especially on the men's side of things. And you have Braun Breaker, Obafemi, Javon Evans. Jacob Fatu is new to the WWE eyes. He's not a young guy, but he's new to our eyes. Your Trick Williams should make a deep run in this. Like, you have these studs that are the next generation of guys. We don't have to wait until this generation is done for them to start creeping into this shit. And that's where I'm like, Deuce, if Obafemi shows up and he's the runner-up or wins the thing, that would be insane. But not one person watching it would believe that it was an like you'd look at the guy and go, yeah, okay, yeah, that guy won. Yeah, of course he did.
Him and Cody are the final
freak of nature.
And gets this win back on Cody.
I don't know. I'm like begging for them to do something outside of the box. I'm gonna pick Braun Breaker officially, and then I think Braun and Punk is probably the route they go because that's been lingering for a while over there at Mania. Even though they should have just had Braun beat him at the first show on Netflix. But
they did something outside the box last year, and everyone just turned on the poor guy.
Yeah, it's true. Well, and again, I don't think
You're not wrong.
I don't think he's going to be a schmuck in this match either. Like, I think he's going to be there towards the end. Like, he's going to be lingering around. I wouldn't be shocked if he's one of the first two entrants. So you get the entrance and everyone blacks out and
the
Jey Uso.
The Jey Uso, like people turning on him needs to be studied because they turned on him, but yet they still yeet in that crowd. Like, I'm just kind of sick of this guy, but this is catchy as hell. Like,
I do it every time, and I crack jokes about him. It just is what it is. I think it's for me personally. It's definitely an over hatred. Like I'm not claiming he's my favorite. I'm not claiming he's like a top clear, in the ring type of guy. But he's fun. He's just like his daddy. People like to complain that he did the yeeting dance entrance thing during War Games. Well, I just watched the Royal Rumble 2000, and Too Cool was dancing in the middle of the fucking ring. So and that was the most over thing of the night.
I was gonna say that was the biggest pop and the most over thing in that men's Rumble match was when the lights went off and then Rikishi dumped them both out after and was like, "Sorry guys, sorry, I'm trying to win, and everyone fucking loved it, and they ate, and there's no friends in the Royal Rumble. And everybody ate it up.
That make the Rumble. So I think Obafemi can get something like, I'm sure he's going to eliminate a fellow big boy, whether that be Brock or Gunther or whatever. Or some thing is, too, that I do worry about it being reversed on him. Like, let's say Kit Wilson eliminates him or something like that, which, like, they're not shy about doing a type of moment like that,
First of all, I love Kit Wilson.
Me too.
Everything that's going on there.
Kit Wilson.
I
would respect both of you if you guys. I would be upset if you didn't throw me out of a Royal Rumble because I'd be like, "Come on, guys, somebody's got to win this thing." I've been in a Rumble. I threw a guy out.
Yeah, that's fair. My thing is,
I got one elimination.
I expect Kit Wilson to be in this Rumble, and I expect him to get
Bravo.
I expect him to get a pop when he comes out. I think
which Rumble though?
Oh,
which Rumble?
There's too much toxic masculinity in the men's Rumble.
That's true.
You might pull up into the other Rumble.
That's true. True.
We haven't seen a well, technically Santina is not.
Oh, did he? I forgot about that.
The first women's Rumble.
James Ellsworth was in the women's Rumble at one point. Was he?
Was he an official entrant or did he just help?
I thought he was.
I'm thinking official.
I think using the Money in the Bank. He won the first women's Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. He did do that. First women's Money in the Bank.
What a mistake! Yeah. What the
first
hell,
women's
man.
Royal Rumble. They're like, Santino, get out there. But yeah, that would be. Listen, that would be. And if there was ever a crowd to do that, it would be the Saudi to do the Kit Wilson in the women's Rumble.
100%.
He would be, and I talked about it with LJ on Saturday because we previewed a little bit of Rumble because we're doing a post show after Shameless Plug. She was like, she feels so bad for those women having to be in those full bodysuits for that Royal Rumble going an hour in that heat. Kit Wilson's going to be the least dressed women's Rumble entrant.
Yeah. Oh yeah, R-Truth did show up in a women's Rumble and was by accident and was eliminated by Nia Jax. I do remember that.
Okay, yes,
I do remember that. I do remember that.
I remember her beating his ass to get her lick back in the men's Rumble, which I thought was awesome.
And this was a question on one of your latest Stache Club, but there have been 4 women in the men's Rumble: Nia Jax, Karma, Beth Phoenix, and oh my god,
China.
China, yes, China was in multiple. So there's been 4 women Obviously, I could see down the line someone like a Jordan Grace, not this year because it's her first women's Rumble, but like a Jordan Grace or somebody popping in the men's Rumble in the next couple of years, I think would be Jade. Yeah, Jade as well. Yeah. So I could see that. Yeah, I'm going to go with Braun Breaker just because I think Gunther is actually going to cross paths with Brock Lesnar during this Rumble because I could see Brock Lesnar and Gunther having a match at WrestleMania. And I think Brock Lesnar could be next.
Another retirement?
Brock Lesnar. Yes, I could see that happening. I don't know how long Brock wants to go in 2026, but I think this is going to be his last year as well. That's the vibe that, whatever. And I feel like Gunther would be that guy. I could see that. I also could see Obafemi, like you said, kind of crossing paths with Brock. And if you want to have Oba have a big first match at WrestleMania, him and Brock one-on-one where he maybe beats Brock, I think that, regardless
and in
of
the
personal
Rumble, too,
feeling.
very reminiscing of that time he met Keith Lee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, big boy. Yeah.
Keith Lee should have eliminated his ass, but the elimination of Drew was good too, though. But
yes. But I could see that happening. So as far as the men's side goes, surprises. Obviously, there's a big name that people have been thinking about. Some guy, fellow Canadian, like people that work for this website, making his big return to WWE. That's been a hot name on the return circuit. But well, you got one or two surprises, Jimmy, in the men's Rumble, if you could pick. What are you thinking?
I'm smelling a nice Boogeyman cameo. I think he might sneak in there.
Okay.
But, YJ wouldn't be crazy. I've seen something on the interwebs on Twitter of something earlier last week of Stone Cold's name circulating, which you're looking at. That's my favorite wrestler of all time. That's basically the man who raised me in many ways. He's just the GOAT. So if you can get him in there, I think we're sleeping on 2K26 cover athlete Triple H.
Okay. All right. All right.
Hey, you're going crazy with that. I just lost my train of thought. Triple H.
I have been yelling for X-Pac for 5 years now. I've been yelling for X-Pac. Yes, I want X-Pac in a damn Royal Rumble. He still keeps himself in shape.
Get Road Dogg, get X-Pac.
Could probably give you a good 10 minutes, I think X-Pac.
I think
probably
he's never been in one, right?
Is that true? No, that can't be true.
I think that's X-Pac actually wants to do that. I think I remember reading him saying he wants to be in one recently.
Maybe he's never been in one like as a legend return. Maybe
not, because that would make no sense. Because as one, two,
no,
three
he was there for
or,
so long. He had to be. Yeah, he had to be.
It'd be one of those crazy things.
I would love to see X-Pac. That's somebody. You mentioned Heath Slater earlier. I think Heath Slater could be fun. Yeah, if they did something funny there. You could do a callback with him and Brock where he's like, I got kids, remember? Yeah, I got the kids. Yeah. Brock's like, I don't give a shit about your kids.
I love that. I would be down. I would go.
But I got, Jericho for me. Jericho would be obviously, like, could you imagine?
You think the Hardy Boys are going to be in this thing?
That would be a good one. If both or even just Jeff, but like both or Jeff Hardy.
Not only Matt though, huh?
Not only Matt. It can't be not only Matt. No, it needs to be. If you're doing one, it has to be.
In all seriousness, can Jeff make the trip?
Oh, I don't know.
It's like, well, I guess that might just be Canada because that was the reason Jimmy wasn't allowed at Raw this week.
Yeah,
he can't make the trip. I'm not trying to be mean about it. I just sometimes with those older, but that would be cool. The Hardy Boys, because I'm also thinking like if you're gonna do some legend callbacks, it's gonna be stuff for the Saudi crowd that they're gonna pop. So. A little older in the tooth wrestlers for sure. So the Hardy Boys would be a good one.
I'll never forget when they first went over to Saudi Arabia. Allegedly the Saudi prince asked for, I believe, the Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna.
Yes.
Yokozuna, who died like 25 years ago, and Warrior, who died I think 2 years prior. So
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that conversation with Trips is like, I don't know how to break this to you. They died.
Are you sitting down?
Are you sitting down? Listen, are you sitting down? I don't want you to be upset. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We're getting close to time. So any last Royal Rumble thoughts, get it in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, share it out, all that fun stuff. If there's any last Royal Rumble thoughts between the two of you, you feel free to drop them. But we did have a debut last night that I think would be crazy that we didn't talk about.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, let's get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that before we round this up here. Last night, I actually thought last night's whole episode of Dynamite, I thought that was one of the better Dynamites they've had recently. They've been on fire for me for a while. Like, they've been just a great product, AEW in general. But last night had a lot of...
Just kidding. Love you.
Sorry. AEW, last night's Dynamite had a lot of direction, and it kind of opened up a lot of roadways to challengers for titles, and it kind of really centered a lot of the show. But we had ourselves a TNT Championship match. Mark Briscoe retained against El Clone. And then he said, you know what? I like the idea of an open challenge for this title. So on Collision, I would like an open challenge. He said, just anybody not in the Don Callis family, because I'm getting sick of your asses. Same. Mark,
which is like 78% of the roster.
Yeah, literally, it's like a third. Yeah,
so they had to outsource this because everybody else is busy.
And I wouldn't hold my breath about the new guy joining the Callis family.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's like jokes on you.
Yeah, lights go out. We see a brand new Titantron. The presentation on this was incredible. This was a great presentation of a debut for this fella. The lights go out. We hear some like slow melodic music, and we see Psycho Killer show up on the Tron, and then it's Tommaso Ciampa makes his AEW debut, not wasting any time. The report came out less than a week ago that he was not renewing his contract in WWE. He shows up last night on Dynamite. He will be facing Mark Briscoe for the TNT Championship on Saturday. I think he should win the TNT Championship on Saturday.
They don't do that in AEW.
They usually don't.
I know. I think, but I've told you for the last 3 or 4 debuts, kind of like I said with this young upstart stuff, they need to pull the trigger on one of these debuts and have them win and set like a precedent here of like this, like Tommaso Ciampa like is the real deal, not hey lose and then we figure it out, then you end up with the Don Callis family and you get a trios time.
Yep,
I mean that with love because I love AEW. But.
Yeah. And he gets out there, he gets in Briscoe's face. They have a history in Ring of Honor and all this stuff. I thought this was a fantastic debut, Jimmy. I thought they made Ciampa feel like a big deal immediately.
I'm someone that was a big Ciampa guy. Definitely like him over, Gargano. I'm more so thinking, for me personally, every tag team has a Michaels or Jannetty. I kind of lean towards Ciampa being my Michaels, but that's just me personally. And then, like you said, the presentation on this debut was next level. Got me super excited. And the thing is, I like to think I know ball. I did not know about the apparent classic rivalry between Briscoe and Ciampa. So I think, like you said, they don't usually do the debut win title thing, but if they're gonna do it, I think right now in terms of Briscoe's run, I think it'd be a great opportunity for him to lose a title and to begin another rivalry in AEW between Ciampa and Briscoe. So fingers crossed. I mean, fingers crossed for, of course, a great match, which I'm sure we're gonna get on Collision. But maybe I'm definitely kind of rooting for Ciampa.
Oh yeah, and
Briscoe's a guy that doesn't. It wouldn't. It's not gonna hurt him at all. And like you said, we could go into the Revolution's coming up. You could run it back there if you wanted to. I got to be honest with you guys. This wasn't even on my radar.
Nope, me neither.
I saw the rumors that he was leaving WWE a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw that he was finishing up, and I was like, all right, cool. Because I was sitting there, and I was like, I heard the music going. They did the lights out thing, and I'm always like, oh, they did the lights out thing. What's gonna happen? And the music starts, and I'm like, who's?
Can I tell you?
That? And then
when the music started, my first thought was Buddy Matthews. That's who I thought. I was like, is this Buddy Matthews?
Yeah,
and then because it wasn't even on my radar, like you plug up.
And I was just
and
like,
then it was him, and I was like,
yeah.
oh shit, this is great. Let's go.
I also, like you, Jimmy, did not know ball on the. I don't
either.
I didn't watch a lot of old ROH back in the day because it just wasn't something I
it wasn't
knew
easily
about.
Accessible
Accessible for me. Yeah. So
I would only see stuff about it if I were to pick up a PWI magazine and be like, oh, there's other wrestling companies besides WWE.
Yeah,
who's this Nigel McGuinness guy? He looks kind of weird.
yeah, exactly.
But I also, like Jimmy, am a big Tommaso Ciampa guy. I preferred him over Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
The Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa feud really sparked my interest in NXT. Like, I knew about NXT and I pay attention to it, but but then like their feud, like I was like, I'm in. Like I love this
Still,
shit. Takeovers rule.
Still, for my money, the best feud in the history of NXT.
Yeah. So
Still
and
for
he's
my
gonna.
money.
My favorite is actually Gargano and Cole. I think
Adam Cole. Yeah,
that's a good
their
one
match
too.
that takeover. I think it was at 3 Stages of Hell. I think it could have been. It was
two. I think it's 2 out of 3 falls.
I missed the black and gold
Yeah.
takeover era. But no, but they got a guy that like, and we say this all the time with these debuts where we're like, oh shit, this is going to be awesome. But I legitimately think like Tommaso Ciampa is a genuinely creative guy. He likes to do things his own way. You have to do things a certain way in WWE for better and worse. I mean, don't get me wrong, he got a lot of great opportunities. But now we get to kind of see his, artistic side when it comes to wrestling and see where he wants to kind of go with this character, the Psycho Killer thing. So I'm super interested. Like you said, I hope he wins it on Saturday. But they have yet to kind of do that. But so this could be the first, and that would be a big moment.
Oh, yeah.
I think another mask guy, too. Just keep winning.
Yeah. It's true. I like you both. Ciampa's a New England guy.
I like you too, JPJ.
Well, yes. Yeah, thank you. But
I like you both. I like you.
Ciampa is a New England guy. He's from around these parts. So I am also, I lean Ciampa on the DIY front. I was always more of a Ciampa guy. I still think the heel turn, and after that, when he was coming out without music and he first won that world title on that Wednesday show of NXT, you could hear the visceral disgust of the audience when he won that world title from Aleister Black. And you could hear Mauro Ranallo, God bless him, his call on that. Like, if you go back and watch it, it is still one of the great moments of the last however long ago, that was 10 years, 50, whatever it was. The crowd being so disgusted that this piece of crap who turned on Gargano won the title, and Mauro Ranallo's just screaming, oh my God. Like, it was just incredible. And then he came out the next week with no music, and you could just hear every word that the crowd was chanting at him, and the hatred that he built. It was so good. It was so good.
Also, I look at crutches always differently ever since then.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, fun fact, he's an absolute sweetheart of a man.
He is.
We did that run in Cleveland. They were trying to get everybody out and finished up. And they looked at us, and we looked, and we all had beards, and we said, we're between 2 beards. If we could get 1 minute with you to do something. And he was like, they were trying to get us out, and he goes, nope, we'll give these guys a few minutes. Like we're bearded brothers forever, Ciampa and I, and you, and Johnny as well. Don't forget about Johnny. But those guys, they got the bit, they understood it, they let us have some time. So we'll forever be grateful to those two. And Ciampa's going to crush it. And, I'm not really a big Mark Briscoe guy anyway, so I'd be happy if he lost. And not because I don't like Mark, but I just, I'm not as big as everybody else with the Mark Briscoe thing.
That's fair.
And Jimmy,
not a negative.
No, we're very grateful to you as well, giving us a lot of time tonight and joining us for the whole
flown
episode.
Into overtime. So
we appreciate that. We appreciate you. We've been trying, to make this happen for a long time.
Hopefully, we didn't scare you off, and you'll come back.
No, the only thing I'm worried about, I have terrible Wi-Fi, so if there's any connection issues with the show, it's definitely on me, and I'm sorry.
No. You've been good. You've been good. It's been wonderful. We appreciate you giving us so much time tonight. We would definitely, as we say, this is an open door policy, man. So, we would definitely love to link up with you again. We would even love maybe if we could work something out with the crossover with the Stashes and the beards at some point.
All you gotta do, Jimmy, is say I got a free Thursday, and we'll
make it happen.
We'll make it happen,
man.
For sure.
It was a lot of fun tonight, man.
Absolutely. But now is your time. Plug your stuff. Let the people know when you go live with the Stache Club, where they can follow you, what you got going on, where people can find you, my man.
Oh, Stache Club's easy to find. Go Stache Club Wrestling. You can go see me regularly. But I'm trying to build my own YouTube channel too. If you have a moment, if you feel like subscribing to, a guy that makes, a YouTube video every so often about wrestling, I'm trying to, get the equipment going, get some upgrades going. So little by little, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm at 890 right now. So try to get me up there, guys, if you can. If you can't, then God bless you. Follow me on all social media, Jimmy from the Q.
Love it.
Absolutely
love
do it. He's hilarious. And I'm not just saying that because he's here. Like when I stumbled across it, I was like, this dude, like I get it. And I love it. And it's one of my favorite follows. So do that.
Man.
Yeah, man. Pluggo, do the damn thing.
My turn?
Yes. And then we will get out of here.
Well, I am Pluggo. You can find me at Pluggo. You search Pluggo across all social media platforms. My face pops up. That is me. I don't have any burners yet. Every Thursday night with this gentleman over here, Between Two Beards. Go to @B2Beards on all social media platforms as well to stay up to date with what we've got going on, what we got coming up. We got some fun things happening in the works. I pitched a fantasy baseball league to the chat today, so I'm thinking of doing that. I'm getting the itch to play fantasy baseball, so stay tuned for that. And whoever we got coming up, that's where you'll find it. Also, no for exposure this Saturday. Me and Blair are taking the week off because it is Royal Rumble season and it is happening during our normal show time, and that takes precedent in my world. Sorry, Blair, love you. But after the Royal Rumble, I will be with Ella J for Pluggo's PLE post show, the Triple P. We'll be recapping all the craziness that was the Royal Rumble, and all of my writings are up right now on Love Wrestling CA as well. .ca, sorry, it's a website.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. You can follow me, JPJ Loves Gaming, on all social media platforms. My Twitter account is still hacked. I've been trying to get it back.
Come on, Elon.
Weeks. What the hell, bro? I've been trying to get it back for almost 3 weeks now. So I've been backup account tweeting at firmly.
All of a sudden, my Twitter account gets hacked.
Yeah, so go follow me there.
We'll
but you can follow me right here, JPJ Loves Gaming, everywhere. This Saturday, I will be live on my Twitch for a Royal Rumble watch along. So come hang out if you're watching the Rumble. And then on Sunday at noon Eastern, me and our pal Auntie Collins, who's been a regular on our show, we have a brand new show debuting on Fightful Overbooked called Coast to Coast, where we'll be reviewing the Rumble and all the other wrestling things. Very excited about that, of getting a show with Auntie and working with her, and the Fightful thing just kind of happened out of nowhere. So very excited about that. We debut this Sunday at noon Eastern and every Sunday at noon Eastern for the foreseeable future. So come hang out with us there. Jimmy, again, thank you so much for giving us the time tonight. We hope we can do this again very, very soon. And you all know the drill. Pluggo and I will be back next Thursday night talking all things about what happened at the Royal Rumble. But until then, yeah, exactly, or didn't happen. Until then, say hi to Sue. We love you all. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Peace
hi,
out.
Sue. Hi.
Hey there, Pluggo and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. You know, get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you Two Beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans. Watch yourselves. Knock it off.